Hey everybody, this is Max Parker, and this is a clip from my Bloodborne review playthrough. I'm approaching a boss, and it's the Bloodstarved Beast boss, and this is about the 5th time I encountered him, and I had sort of an interesting ending to this battle. Like I said, this is the 5th time, which isn't a lot when you're talking by Bloodborne standards, so I have his movements pretty much down. He's not that difficult of a boss, but each boss has 3 stages based on the damage that they're taking. And when they have a little bit of health left, they transform into their 3rd stage. And this boss's 3rd stage, he becomes poisonous, and he poisons you. And if you're poisoned, then your health continually decreases. So you have to have antidotes. The item antidotes, you can see in the upper left-hand corner, I have 9 of them. So I thought I was pretty well prepared for any type of poison encounters. So you'll see here towards the end what happens here. So I also want to get into basic strategy that you need when you're approaching a boss. Any real boss that you encounter in Dark Souls or Bloodborne pretty much has to be approached in a similar way. Your first time facing a boss, you're not going to have a ton of luck because you don't know the patterns, you don't know what the strengths are of that boss. So really the first time you encounter the boss is just really a learning period. You have to learn what you need to defeat him, and you have to learn what to avoid and when to get in. So the basic strategy is to get in, land what you can, and then get out. Don't try to bite off more than you can chew. Don't try to be too aggressive, or it'll get you killed. So find the openings, get in, land an attack or two, and then you gotta leap out of the way. So now I've inflicted enough damage for this boss to enter his 2nd stage. Each boss has 3 stages that get progressively more difficult as the boss loses health, the 3rd stage being the most difficult. So this 2nd stage, he's just faster than he was in the 1st stage. You can be poisoned if you get rocked by a bunch of different attacks, but it's not too bad. So basically I'm sticking to the same strategy: get in, get out, dodge those huge, wide attacks that he has. So as you can see with this boss in Bloodborne, he's in a huge, wide open area, and that's actually the case with most of the Bloodborne bosses. They're usually in huge, sprawling areas, which surprisingly works to your advantage. And I say surprisingly because so many things in Bloodborne, just like Dark Souls, do not work to your advantage. The deck is always stacked against you, and you're up against ridiculous odds. bosses and even normal enemies are always stronger than you, almost always stronger than you, which is part of the reason why this game is so challenging, just like the Dark Souls series. But it just requires a ton of patience. You cannot be overly aggressive, it'll get you killed, and that's pretty much the best advice. So speaking of the environment, you can also see and appreciate the art style of this game. It really is gorgeous. This the gothic theme that they've used for From Studios has used for Bloodborne is really stunning, and it's some excellent world building. So now the boss is in its third and final form. Now, as you can see by the ooze and gas coming out of him, that he is super poisonous. So now he's really dangerous. If I get hit at all, that poisons me, which drops my health. So as soon as I'm poisoned, I have to pop an antidote so I don't lose much health. And I'll likely also have to heal because I got hit and that's what poisoned me. So right there you can see I'm poisoned. I've got to get out of there, not take any more damage because my health is low, go through the antidote animation, which slows me down, get out of the way, not get hit, and then use a health potion. It is a difficult and stressful chain of events that you have to go through in order to be successful against these bosses. It is tough. But really, you just have to stick to the same game plan. Stay patient, look for openings, don't be aggressive. And that's what I'm trying to do. And also, of course, manage resources. Manage your health potions and manage your, in this case, manage the antidote. Because if you don't have the antidote in this fight, you're as good as dead. So it's getting to be a little dicey in this fight. I have 4 antidotes left. I'm trying to get in, land a couple hits, but he still has a couple hits to go here. Not quite close to death. So it's getting down to the wire here. And now it's getting stressful, and I'm starting to get worried because I don't want to go through this process again. Because if you die, you also lose all of those resources that you used. So I would have to go buy or find them in the game world to be prepared for this boss again, and that would take a lot of time. So getting a boss this close to death, you want to finish the job. So I've got 1 antidote left, a few more hits to land, and now I'm in trouble. And to make matters worse is when you defeat a boss, it unlocks the save point, but it doesn't automatically save the game. You have to get to the save point in order to save the game. If I die somehow before I get to the save point, the game doesn't save. Now the boss would still be defeated, but I would still have to go through the huge process to get back here. So I'm out of antidote now. He's got a couple more hits. I can't get poisoned. and I got overly aggressive here, and now I'm poisoned. So now I just have to hack away, hope I don't get hit, and I was lucky. He died. But I'm poisoned. So my health is draining, and I have to hustle to get to the save point in order to save. I light the lamp, just make it before I keel over and die.